Before we begin, take a slow, gentle breath. Let the noise of the day drift away, and let your heart settle into a quiet, peaceful place. Tonight, we journey together into stories of mercy, of being found, of being loved, and of finding our way home.
Chapter 1. The Heart of Mercy. Part 1. The Lost Sheep. Before we begin, take a slow breath. Let the weight of the day fall away. Let your heart become still. Let your spirit open gently, as if welcoming a quiet visitation from heaven. Tonight, as we rest beneath the tenderness of God's presence, we step into a sacred story, a story whispered by Christ himself, a story that reveals the mercy of the Father in ways our minds cannot fully grasp, but our hearts deeply understand. This is a story of the shepherd and his lost sheep. Imagine the hills of ancient Judea, rolling beneath a sky painted with the soft glow of late afternoon. The air is calm, touched with the warmth of sunlight and the fragrance of grazing fields. Birdsong floats gently through the air, and the world feels unhurried, as if heaven and earth are breathing together. On these hills walks a shepherd, not just any shepherd, but one whose eyes see deeper than the horizon, whose heart knows each of his sheep by name, whose footsteps trace the path of unwavering love. His robe sways with each step. His staff, a symbol of guidance and protection, rests securely in his hand. Around him, 99 sheep gather calmly, their wool glowing softly beneath the fading light. But tonight, something is missing. The shepherd counts, not mechanically, not out of obligation, but with tender care. 96, 97, 98, 99. He pauses. His breath holds still. The air thickens with concern. One sheep, small, vulnerable, beloved, is not here. He closes his eyes for a moment, and in that silence, you can almost hear his heart respond. Not one shall be lost. Not one shall slip away unnoticed. The Father's love does not abandon. It does not forget. It does not shrug and say, "Let it go. I still have many." No, divine love is not calculated. It is not reasonable by human standards. It is personal, intimate, unshakably faithful. And so, the shepherd turns away from the safety of the 99 and steps into the unknown. The sky dims as evening settles in. Shadows lengthen across the hills. Cold winds begin to rise. Yet the shepherd walks. Steady, determined, unafraid, he moves through rocky paths. Where jagged stones bite at his sandals, he pushes through thorny patches. Where branches claw at his robe and scratch his skin. But every wound, every tired step, every breath of cold night air is endured without hesitation, because love does not weigh the cost. When the beloved is in danger, he calls out into the darkness, his voice deep, strong, full of yearning. "Where are you, little one? Where have you wandered?" And though the hills echo his voice back to him, the shepherd continues on with unrelenting hope. Far from safety, in a place of fear and solitude, a small sheep trembles. The grass is sparse here. The wind howls through the rocks. Night creatures move in the shadows. The sheep has wandered further than it ever intended, just as we often do. Sometimes we drift slowly, not realizing how far we've gone, until the world around us feels cold and sharp and unfamiliar. Maybe it followed something that looked beautiful, a patch of grass, a fleeting distraction. Maybe it was simply careless, believing it could return whenever it wished. But now, fear surrounds it like a tightening net. Every sound startles it. Every shadow feels threatening. Every moment grows heavier. It calls out, a faint, fragile cry, swallowed quickly by the darkness. It is alone, or so it thinks. Miles away, the shepherd stops. Something within him, a divine knowing, stirs. He listens closely. The wind shifts. The night quiets. And then he hears it, a cry, so small, so distant, it would be imperceptible to anyone else. but not to him, never to him. His heart awakens with urgency. His pace quickens. His steps grow firm. He descends rocky slopes with the precision of someone who has walked this terrain many times, not because it is safe, but because love has led him there before. At last, in a shadowed cleft between two stones, he sees it, the lost sheep, shivering, exhausted, eyes wide with fear. And something beautiful happens. The sheep recognizes him, despite the darkness, despite its panic, despite its wandering. It knows the shepherd's presence. The shepherd kneels, his face warm with compassion. He does not shout. He does not reprimand. He does not ask, "Why did you run? Why did you stray?" He simply reaches out, hand steady, heart steady, love steady. He lifts the trembling creature gently into his arms and holds it close to his chest. Its heartbeat slows, its breathing steadies, its fear dissolves in the warmth of being found. The journey back is long, but this time, the shepherd carries the sheep on his shoulders. Every step radiates protection. Every breath carries reassurance. Every heartbeat echoes a promise. You are mine. I will not lose you again. I will not let the darkness claim you. The stars spread out above them, like witnesses to this holy moment. The wind softens. The night quiets. Nothing in the universe is more precious to the shepherd than this one small sheep resting safely against him. And now, the sacred story speaks into your life. There are times when you wander far from peace, times when you lose your way, times when fear surrounds you, and hope feels distant. But the shepherd, your shepherd, never stops searching. Not once, not ever. He walks into your wilderness, into your fear, into your confusion, into the tangled places of your life. And he calls your name, not to shame you, not to punish you, but to bring you home. Rest in this truth. You are sought after. You are pursued by love. You are worth the journey. You are carried, even now, on the shoulders of the one who will never abandon you. Part 2, The Lost Coin. As the shepherd carries his beloved sheep home, we now step into another sacred scene, quieter, gentler, yet filled with profound meaning. Imagine a humble home, resting at the edge of a small village. Its walls are made of simple stone, its roof of dried reeds. Inside, the evening light is dim, a soft, amber glow drifting through a single window. The room is peaceful, but tonight, a quiet concern lingers in the air. A woman, humble, faithful, diligent, stands in the center of the room, with her hands pressed together and her brows gently furrowed. She is missing something precious, not a treasure chest, or a costly jewel, or a priceless artifact, but a single small silver coin. To the world, it may seem insignificant, but to her, it carries value far deeper than its size. It represents labor, sacrifice, and the careful stewardship of someone who lives with gratitude for every blessing she receives. She looks into the small pouch where she has kept her 10 coins. For many years, one is not there. 9 remain, shining softly under the lamplight. But the missing one presses into her heart like a quiet ache. She whispers, almost like a prayer, "Where are you, my precious coin?" In that moment, the room seems to respond with silence, a silence that invites action. With purposeful hands, she reaches for her oil lamp. She pours in a bit of oil, strikes a small flame, and gently lights the wick. Warm light spills into the room, pushing back every shadow, illuminating corners long overlooked. The glow wraps around her, like the presence of God himself, guiding her search. The flicker of the flame dances on the walls, soft golden, alive. In this warm silence, she kneels. She does not rush. She does not sigh in frustration. She approaches her search with patience and reverence, because when something is precious, you search for it carefully. She takes her broom, a simple bundle of reeds bound together, and begins to sweep the floor. The bristles glide across the ground in slow, steady movements. The sound is soft, rhythmic, almost prayer-like. Sweep, pause, listen. Sweep, pause, listen. She stops at every corner, checking beneath jars and woven baskets, lifting cloths, peering behind simple pottery, stacked gently against the wall. Dust rises in delicate spirals. As the broom passes through, the lamplight catches each floating particle, making them shimmer like tiny stars. It is as if heaven itself has stepped into her home and is blessing her effort, because love, true love, searches with hope. As she searches, she recalls moments when this coin had meaning. Perhaps it was earned after a long day of gathering grain. Perhaps it was given to her as a sign of trust. Perhaps it represented something she hoped to save for the future. It is not merely metal. It holds memory, value, identity, and so she searches with deeper purpose. Not one corner is ignored, not one hidden place forgotten. Her love causes her to tend to every detail. Time passes. The lamp burns steadily. Her breath softens as she moves with intention. She is not discouraged. She is not weary. She knows with a quiet certainty that what is lost can be found again. This is the courage born from faith. And then, in a moment that feels almost holy, something faint, barely audible, touches her ears. A tiny clink, a whisper of silver against stone. She freezes. Her heart stirs. She lowers the lamp, letting its warm glow reach the floor. And there, half hidden beneath a faint layer of dust, a small silver coin glimmers back at her. It is as if light itself was guarding it. She reaches out, slowly, reverently, and lifts the coin between her fingers. Its cool surface warms in her palm. Her eyes soften, filling with relief and gratitude, not because she has recovered wealth, but because what was precious is no longer lost. Her heart lifts in quiet worship. She whispers, "Thank you for letting me find what my soul could not release." The beauty of the moment rests not in the coin, but in the love that search for it. She rises and calls out to her neighbors. Her voice, once quiet with concern, now rings with joy. "Rejoice with me, for I have found the coin that was lost." And they gather around her, smiling, laughing softly, sharing her joy, because they understand what it means to value something deeply. In this simple home, celebration fills the air. Like incense, the room glows with the warmth of community, gratitude, and the gentle presence of God. And now this story, this holy parable, turns toward you. My friend, there are moments when you feel small, overlooked, hidden beneath the weight of your own struggles. Moments when dust gathers over your heart, and you wonder if anyone truly sees you. But hear this truth. As tenderly as a prayer, God never misplaces you. He never overlooks you. He never forgets your worth. Even when you feel buried under life's heaviness, He lights His lamp. He sweeps gently across your soul. He searches the hidden corners with unwavering love, not because He needs you, but because you are precious to Him. You are His, and He will not stop searching until He holds you again. Take a slow breath now. Let the truth settle gently. You have worth. You are seen. You matter. Even in your smallest moments, you shine in the eyes of God. Rest in that truth. Let it wrap around you like a warm blanket of light. You are not forgotten. You are not lost. You are cherished. Always. Part 3. The Prodigal Son. Before this final story begins, let your breath soften. Let your thoughts settle like dust descending gently to the earth. Let your heart rise into a posture of quiet surrender, because the story you're about to enter is one of the most sacred stories ever told. A story about wandering, about brokenness, about regret, about shame, and most of all, a story about the unimaginable depth of a father's love. A love that does not end, a love that does not turn away, a love that waits and waits and waits. Tonight, we walk slowly into the story of the prodigal son. Imagine a peaceful home, resting among rolling fields of ancient Israel. The morning sun touches the earth softly. Servants move quietly about their work. Birdsong fills the air with gentle praise. Inside this home lives a father, strong, wise, and kind, and he has two sons. The younger is restless. His eyes shine with hunger for the world, for excitement, for independence, for a life he believes waits beyond the borders of home. He dreams not of responsibility, but of freedom, not of steady labor, but of possibility. And one day, with a heart filled more with desire than discernment, he approaches his father. "Father," he says softly, "I want my inheritance now." It is a request that in that culture was like saying, "I want the benefits of your life before your life is even over." A request that could wound deeply, yet the father, with a heart overflowing with mercy, does not refuse him. He divides what he has. He gives the son what he asks for, not because he approves, but because love cannot be forced. Love gives freedom, even when freedom leads to pain. With his inheritance gathered, the young man leaves. He does not look back. He walks quickly, eagerly, heart pounding with excitement and the thrill of independence. The world opens before him, a world of noise, color, music, celebration, a world that promises everything and demands nothing. At first, he spends freely, lavishly, surrounded by people who delight in the generosity of a young man with too much money and too little wisdom. Nights blur into mornings, feasts blur into empty plates, laughter blurs into aching silence, and slowly, the money runs out, the so-called friends vanish, the music fades, the celebrations cease, and the young man, once full of confidence, discovers loneliness he has never known before. Then famine strikes a land. Food disappears. Jobs become scarce. Hope thins like smoke rising from a dying flame. Desperate, the young man takes the only work he can find, feeding pigs. For a Jewish man, this is humiliation beyond words. A fall so low that even the mud he stands in feels cleaner than his circumstances. He grows so hungry that even the pig's food looks desirable. He is alone. He is empty. He is broken. And the world he chased no longer chases him. Then one day, perhaps in the stillness before dawn, perhaps in the exhaustion of another hopeless evening, a thought rises within him, a memory, a whisper, a truth he had long forgotten. In my father's house, even the servants have food to spare. He closes his eyes. The memory grows warm, like a soft light, in a cold room, and he says to himself, "I will go home. I will rise and go to my father." He prepares a confession in trembling words. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me as one of your hired servants." He repeats it again and again, as if practicing for a moment. He fears he may never survive. Then, with whatever strength he has left, he begins the long walk home. Each step feels heavy, not just from hunger, but from shame, from regret, from the weight of choices that cannot be undone. The road that once felt exciting now feels endless. The world that once seemed bright now seems cold and unforgiving. His clothes are torn, his body is weary, his heart is fragile, and yet he walks. Something inside him is stronger than his fear. Hope, even a small, trembling hope, is powerful enough to move a wounded soul one step closer to home. Meanwhile, in the quiet of early morning, the father stands at the edge of his land. He has stood there many times before, watching, praying, hoping. Some days he sees nothing but the empty horizon, but he keeps returning, because love that is true does not give up. And then, on a day like any other, he sees a figure in the distance, thin, slow, frail, but something within the father recognizes him immediately. My son, he cannot hold himself back. He lifts his robe, something a man of his dignity would never do, and runs. He runs with tears rising. He runs with joy breaking like dawn. He runs with a heart that has waited far too long. The son, seeing him approach, falls to his knees. He tries to speak his confession. Father, I have sinned. I am no longer worthy. But the father does not let him finish. He pulls his son into his arms. Mud, rags, wounds, shame, and all. He holds him, as if holding the most precious treasure in the universe. He cries. He laughs. He gathers him up like a lost child, restored from death to life. The father calls to his servants, bring the finest robe, cover his shame, put a ring on his finger, restore his authority, place sandals on his feet, give him dignity again, prepare a feast. For my son who is dead is alive again. Not one word of anger, not one moment of, I told you so, not one expression of disappointment. Only joy, only mercy, only love. Celebration fills the house. Music returns. Laughter rises like incense. The entire household rejoices, because what was lost has now been found. And now this story, this sacred, breathtaking story, turns toward you. Listen closely. There is no distance you can travel that is too far for God's love to reach. There is no failure so great that mercy cannot restore you. There is no shame so heavy that the Father will not lift it from your shoulders. In your wandering, He waits. In your rebellion, He watches. In your brokenness, He prepares a robe, a ring, sandals, and a feast. Because to Him, you are not a servant returning. You are a child coming home. Let that truth rest on your spirit, like warm oil poured gently over your heart. Breathe it in. You are loved, without condition, without limit, without end. Now, close your eyes. Let quiet fill your soul. Let the love of God wrap around you like a warm cloak. Tonight, you are the found sheep. Tonight, you are the recovered coin. Tonight, you are the returning child. Nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is beyond redemption. Whisper softly, I am yours, and you have never stopped loving me. Let peace settle over you like gentle rain. Let forgiveness flow over you like a cleansing river. Let hope rise within you like light breaking through the dawn. Rest now in the arms of the Father who has been waiting for you all along. Amen. Take a slow breath and let the atmosphere of this moment surround you like a soft, sacred blanket of peace. You have traveled through 3 holy stories tonight: the lost sheep, the lost coin, the prodigal son. Each story has touched a different place in your soul. Each story has whispered a truth that your heart needed to hear. Now, we enter the final moments of this journey, where everything becomes quiet, everything becomes still, and everything becomes clear. Let the truth settle deeply. You are the one the shepherd searches for. You are the treasure God refuses to lose. You are the child the Father runs to embrace. Feel these words rest upon you, like gentle hands placed over your heart. No matter where you've been, no matter how far you've wandered, no matter how heavy your burdens have become, God has never stopped looking for you. Not once, not ever. His love follows you into the wilderness, into the hidden corners of your life, into the broken places inside you, until He finds you and carries you home. Let quiet fill your spirit now, the kind of quiet that does not come from the world, but only from heaven. A quiet that says, you are safe, you are loved, you belong. Let your shoulders relax. Let your breath slow. Let your heart soften as you rest in the awareness that God is near, closer than your breath, gentler than your thoughts, stronger than your fear. Whisper softly, even if only in your heart, Father, I return to you. I come home to your love. Lift my burdens, heal my wounds, restore my soul. Feel his response in the stillness around you. My child, I am here. I have always been here. You are mine, and I will never let you go. Let those words flow into you, like warm oil healing every ache, every scar, every sorrow. Now imagine placing your worries at the feet of God. Set down your anxieties, your mistakes, your regrets, your exhaustion, your secrets, your fears. Let them fall away, one by one, like stones from tired hands. You do not need to carry them. You were never meant to. Tonight, you release them, all of them, into the hands that can hold anything and heal everything. Now imagine God's peace descending over you like the dawn breaking gently over the hills. Soft, warm, quiet, steady. Let it flow over you from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Let it fill the spaces where fear once lived. Let it replace the heaviness with rest. Let it whisper into your spirit. You are enough. You are forgiven. You are held. You are home. Breathe that truth in and allow it to become the rhythm of your soul. As you prepare to sleep, I speak this blessing over you. May God's presence surround you like a shield of light. May his peace guard your mind and settle your heart. May his mercy wash over every memory that still hurts. May his love restore everything that feels broken inside you. May his voice guide you in the days to come. And may you wake tomorrow, renewed, restored, and deeply aware that you are loved beyond measure by the God who never lets you go. Amen. Now rest in quiet, in warmth, in peace. Tonight, you sleep in the arms of the one who has searched for you, found you, and welcomed you home. Good night, and may God hold you until the morning comes.
And as the night gives way to a new dawn, the journey of the heart continues. Let us step gently into the next story and discover what heaven longs to whisper next.